How powerful are banned commander cards in 2026? We're going to look at them today, starting with Ancestral Recall. Now, am I the only person that probably wants this card unbanned just because I'm a blue player? It's a blue instant. Target player draws 3 cards. Now, in a one-on-one game, this card is insane. I mean, of course, it's downright absolutely broken. One player drawing 3 extra cards is the difference between life and death in that format. It's highly restricted in Vintage. But in a 4-player game, you can gang up on one player. In fact, you could even be political with this card. This looks like a card designed for Commander. It didn't say you draw 3 cards. It says target player draws 3 cards. If somebody is like, you know, barely getting by and you have a full grip of cards of 7 cards in hand, you could donate 3 cards to that player. You can help support the person who needs help. Maybe you depend on one player to help you defeat somebody else. So Ancestral Recall looks like a very Commander-ish card. I don't even know if this card was ever legal to play in the first place. For all I know, they like instantly banned it, not even giving it a chance. Yeah, Ancestral Recall. And on another take, if they were to unban this card, it's not that big of a deal. Everyone proxies, don't they? So a lot of people say, well, there's got to be some cards are banned because, well, they're prohibitively expensive. They'll be even more expensive if you make them legal in Commander, which is true. It'll be outrageously expensive. But a lot of people proxy by printing. They proxy with like I don't know, they'll put Treasure Cruise and scratch out Treasure Cruise and just write Ancestral Recall, or they'll just print out like a proxy Ancestral Recall from their printer. So I don't think cost is even that big of a deal. Mappy says, oh hey, it's one of those how powerful band cards, finally made it on one of those. Yeah, we haven't done one in years and now we're back. Nobody is targeting another player with Recall in Commander. There's a chance. It's not, come on, you can't say it's 0%. It's higher than 0.01% as far as I'm concerned. We're going to be discussing all these in alphabetical order. Of course, people can super chat to skip the order, because this will take probably several shows to get through. I'm not hearing a good argument against Ancestral Recall. That was a powerful card, absolutely. Is it that much different from a lot of other cards in Commander? Like, what I would say is Commander could suck it up. It would be very, 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 very strong, but I think Commander could suck it up. To hose someone trying to throw... There we go! Look at the utility! Everyone who's afraid of Thassa's Oracle, we now actually have a solution to it. With Thassa's Oracle on the stack, make that person draw 3 cards with them having no cards in their library. This is what it's already a meta card. It can bring balance to the meta game. So what is the term being banned mean? Well, it means it's banned. It's banned based on Wizards of the Coast banned and restricted list, like one format or well, in Commander. In like, I would say the typical 99 card Commander format, not the not Oathbreaker, none of the variants, not Highlander. We're just talking like the casual version of Commander, the casual version. It's not even clear to me that this would rock CEDH far more than it would rock regular EDH. I don't even know if the regular EDH players would even notice. Yeah, it's the Commander ban list. It is in Standard now through another card, so it should be allowed in Commander. Doesn't anyone realize, like, they're pushing Ancestral Recall constantly. They're constantly making these, like, 1 card draw 3. You know, maybe it's not exactly the same with Expressive Iteration, Flow State, but I mean, they made Treasure Cruise. They make Dig Through Time. They make, what's it called? Yeah, they've now made that, was it Emissary... The new 5-mana creature that prepares an Ancestral Recall on top of it. We got 1 million Ancestral Recalls now in this game. Ramsey says, not all the time. Sometimes cards are banned in all formats. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna count like stickers and stuff like that. Or there's like conspiracy cards. It's okay. We don't have to look at conspiracy cards. We can, yeah, we're not going to look at the conspiracy cards here. I mean, there are Commander cards that are banned, just not banned in Commander. Okay, well, we're talking about cards specifically banned in that format. Super specifically banned in that format. Abandoned attachments, I believe, is basically recall. There we go. We have so many Ancestor recalls in the format. Why can't we have the real Ancestor recall? It's got the aura, the ultra powerful aura, because it was part of the Power 9, right? Is that why we're ganging up on it? Well, we didn't gang up on Time Twister. That's a very strong card. That seems to be fine. Brainstorm. You know, I mean, arguably you could have banned Brainstorm in Legacy a really long time ago, but they didn't. Format still stood on its own 2 feet. Anyway, I'm biased. I'm a super biased person. I'm assuming that the crowd here says no to Ancestor Recall, but I say yes. My brain maybe says no, but my heart absolutely says yes. Does pseudo putting this card on a creature make it any better or fair? Well, obviously it makes it more fair because it makes it more expensive, significantly more expensive. But yeah, it would just make it significantly more fair. Okay, we do have super chats. If you super chat, you get to skip the line. Otherwise, we're going in alphabetical order. Dockside Extortionist from Rare Blue Skittles was extorting people for a very, very long time. We have a 2-mana 1/2 Goblin Pirate. When Dockside Extortionist enters the battlefield, create X treasure tokens, where X is the number of artifacts and enchantments your opponents control. I always found this a funny card because technically, if you don't play with artifacts and enchantments, this card does nothing. Like sounds like a deck building problem. You could metagame versus Dockside Extortionist by just playing like Land Ramp and Creature Ramp. You know, Birds of Paradise, Llanowar Elves, Rampant Growth. And then you don't have this problem with Dockside Extortionist. But I'll admit, you know, just because you build your deck around Dockside Extortionist doesn't mean everyone else is building their deck around Dockside Extortionist. So when it enters the battlefield, it will give you a massive advantage over everybody else. It's like it's basically super Dark Ritual that you get to store the mana for later. Not to mention, if you blink this thing, it's a lot of... Yeah, why is it artifacts and enchantments? I don't know. Yeah, why is it stealing enchantments? You can't just take like an enchantment. Isn't an enchantment like an aura or something around you? You're enchanted. It's not like it's something I can swipe away from you. It's like you're high on something. I can't swipe your high. I can swipe your wallet. I can steal your shirt, but I can't steal your aura. The aura, yeah, aura tax. Okay, let's see some. Well, we have some discussion here. Corvinick says because it's easier to counter other recall cards with Grave Hate. That is true. There's all the other recall cards are very, very interactable. He's not stealing the enchantments. He's taxing them for existing. Oh, that's true. Yeah, we are getting taxed for your. You're getting taxed for the aura. What's that? Oh yeah, you're getting extorted. No, he's not. He's a pirate. He's extorting you though. He's the tax man. He's not actually a pirate that steals from you. Shouldn't he then work for the government? Isn't this like a government guy? You're extorting them of this ship's inventory with taxes is the lore. Wizards stealing other wizards' magic. Okay, Steve Cooper says, I'm super biased. I printed out a bunch of proxies of this just as it got banned. Unban it. Okay. Yeah, you put this huge cost of printing a bunch of Dockside Extortionists down. You want to use your Dockside Extortionists. Tax, extort, it's basically the same thing. It's similar to Mana Drain. You're talking about the tax because red is known for enchantment hate. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, red should never... Well, I mean, this is like a weird way of, I guess, hating on enchantments without removing them. It's a way of, I guess, getting an advantage versus a deck that has a lot of enchantments. Of course, red doesn't... You know, all the colors hate on other cards in a different way. We're still not destroying those enchantments. Beefy Taco says, if he's actually extorting, where is my life gain? Tonic Nightmare calls himself an extortionist, doesn't have extort. I mean, the proxies are legal in other formats. What other formats? Where else can you play Dockside Extortionist? I guess you can play this card in Legacy. Not gonna get a whole lot out of it. Not enough artifacts in that format. we love taxing people here. But the funny thing is, it's not actually taxing the opponent as far as extorting comes. It's ramping you. You are getting something. So okay. You're getting treasure. They are paying you. They're literally paying you so that you can keep your artifacts or enchantments on the board. I guess, you know what? They could have designed this card in such a way that you could have sacrificed your artifact and enchantment so that the dockside extortionist didn't get anything because, okay, you didn't want to pay the tax, so you decide to sacrifice your goods. It's more like a super ritual, which is red. Okay, so it is, yeah, it's within the flavor of red. So did we think this thing is broken? What is everyone's experience with dockside extortionist? Generally speaking, it is a super ritual, because who the hell can help them but play? I mean, Commander, of course, is the format of the artifacts between a Soul Ring and treasure tokens. Oh, what's that treasure generator? It's the 4-mana white card. We got Mana Vault. We used to have Mana Crypt. We used to have was the Lotus. Some artifacts are gone, but still a very heavy artifact type of format. Smothering Tithe. Smothering Tithe will smother you to death. And then Dockside Extortionist will smother you a little bit more on top of that. Winter says, it's really not extorting. Wouldn't extorting be like forcing them to do something? Well, we are forcing our opponent to feel the pain with the Dockside Extortionist. Target opponent might have still been too powerful, says Mappius. Well, I don't actually hear a lot of... Okay, to be honest, I don't hear anybody saying that this is broken. So if this is not broken, then this is going to be legal. I need to hear some complaining about Dockside Extortionist. Beefy Taco says, yes, in CDH, red plays it, black reanimates it, white flickers it, blue copies it, and green was just bad because it couldn't do any of that. So this was just hating on green for the most part. Old Boy says, honestly, it should stay banned. I own a few. I have rarely seen it leading to fun gameplay patterns. You play CEDH for fun? Actually, I don't know if you play CEDH. It could have just been a regular Commander game. I find that there is a lot of unfun cards in Commander in general. But for as long as someone doesn't go for the kill super quickly, everyone has a good time anyway. So long as people pretend to not win the game, everyone has a good game. Should have cost 3 RR, leave it banned. It was grossly undercosted. I guess the whole point of it was to take advantage of everybody who's like ramping out really quickly with their soul rings. Corbin is like, okay, it's fine, unban it. Okay, Old Boy doesn't like it in the regular EDH. Chitonic Nightmare green is the player with all the enchantments getting extorted. But not necessarily all the artifacts, right? Oh, here comes the give CEDH a separate ban list and unban it there. It's a good question. I don't know if they want it unbanned there. After Dockside Extortionist got banned and they banned Jeweled Lotus, there was a lot of complaining in the beginning, but from what I gather from the CEDH community, they like how the format evolved. It is more strategic now. People are just not winning out of nowhere because these were free win types of cards. Any type of card that speeds things up leads to less enjoyable games. That's just a fact of Magic the Gathering. You can apply that to all formats, which is why I am super against fast mana. Like, maybe not necessarily this type of fast mana, because this is, I mean, it's fast, but at least you have to spend 2 mana on the damn thing. It is a super ritual. But stuff that is like 0 mana, like Jeweled Lotus, like, okay, get it the hell out of here. I don't know where CEDH stands on its own separate ban list, but it would make sense to me. Not a CEDH player, all right? I'm just having fun picking at the ban list. Some people might say, Nikachu, you're not a CEDH player. Don't speak on behalf of the format. I'm not doing it. 100% CEDH could use a separate ban list. That's another discussion for another day. Yes, those legacy players never want fast mana. Well, we want fast mana. Well, we want fast mana, but it's all banned. They banned Soul Ring in Legacy. It doesn't even exist. Okay, it sounds like this card's still going to stay banned. Sorry, Dockside Extortionist. You're probably not going to get unbanned in this format. But just in case you want to speculate on those cards, you could always buy them at FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to get my Magic the Gathering cards. Have I ever speculated on a banned card here? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I've ever bought paper cards hoping that they were supposed to get unbanned. But if you think any of these things could possibly get unbanned, because they do, Commander cards do get unbanned. Slowly, they're taking things off the ban list. You can get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. And of course, it supports the channel. Thank you very much, everyone who supports the channel at FusionGamingOnline.com. Okay, next. Okay, we have I got a lot of super chats. Toads is back with the knee replacement. Congratulations. I'm in rehab and can't check in all the time, but we'll be here when I can. Thank you so much, Toads. Recover sweetly. Enjoy your recovery. We miss you here, Toads. Okay, next. What's the next card? Okay, our next card is actually another super chat. We have Blinksomniac. Caracas! Who the hell wants Caracas? Anti-commander are good for... Okay, hold on. Caracas. In my opinion, if you don't have Wasteland or Strip Mine in your deck, you're doing something wrong. Caracas, a legendary land, tap for a white. Tap, return target legendary creature to its hand. Now, normally, in any other format, you know, this is a good, useful card, especially since it doesn't come to play tapped or anything like that. Commander, it's considered a danger. Of course, because you're going to just bounce the very thing that the format was based around. And there's a lot of people who will take that personally. You're bouncing my commander. My whole deck is my commander. The rest, the 99 cards are all fluff. This one card, this is everything to me. Steve Cooper says, too free, keep it banned. Old Boy says, unban it and make it a game changer. Ooh, that's interesting. Make it a game changer. We forgot that game changes exist now. So if you like the super casual side of Commander, you just stay in your bracket. Decks in bracket 3+ should work without their commander. And remember, it's not like Caracas is invincible. Have you heard of Field of Ruin? Have you heard of Field of Demolition? Have you heard of Wasteland, Ghost Quarter, Strip Mine, Back to Basics, Harbinger of the Seas, Blood Moon? Have you heard of these cards? They can blow up the Caracas. You know, that's what Magic's all about. You put a threat in play, and then you try to deal with the threat. And there's a lot of tools to deal with those threats. Not to mention, I mean, well, okay, this is not that crazy, but like you effectively tax the Caracas player, in some way by playing this thing. You probably okay. I guess you tax yourself a lot more. It's a pretty stupid argument on my half. Or you can save your own. You can also, well, I mean, do you really want to save your own commander? I guess if you have a cheap commander, you don't mind saving it. Gillum, we are working in alphabetical order, unless you want to super chat, and then we can switch ahead to another card. Teutonic Nightmare, hit this with Stone Rain and follow up with Mudhole for good measure. It stays banned. But you just gave an argument that we could unban it. William Anderson, Commander has derailed Magic. There are way too many sets, quantity over quality, and I don't think it's standard, modern, or legacy gameplay that's driving... What, Caracas? Oh, you're talking about well, no, yeah, if you're talking about Magic the Gathering in general, it's all Commander. 95% of Magic is now Commander. 5%. I'm just throwing out some numbers, but I'm pretty sure that like the casual side is about like 95% heavy, and then the competitive side is closer to like 5 to 10%. The Big Squig says they should make a Wasteland that only hits legendary lands. But then it would be worthless. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say basically. Wasteland. I think hitting non-basics is good enough. Or you're saying like encouraging. So like if Caracas did exist, it would encourage a more toxic environment of people playing with Wasteland and Strip Mine. I thought these were like staple cards, by the way, in decks. I would never build a deck unless it had Strip Mine and Wasteland in it. But then if we do have Caracas, we have the access to like legendary land hate. Beefy Taco says the sad thing is if it was unbanned, it would be $100 plus. But yeah, but they could print it to oblivion. They could print it. Like Wizards would love it to be $100, and then be like, okay, let's print the crap out of this thing. Let's make some money off of Caracas today. They're gonna make a new Commander Masters with all the banned cards that they plan on unbanning. Crocus being included. Crocus is so free, says Gabrielle. Toads is like, my pod is 100% Commander. Well, I would imagine. I've never heard of a modern pod. Card name, Waste of Land. My Boseiju. Boseiju! Boseiju also can deal with Caracas, right? Blows up non-basic lands. Gillum says, there really aren't that many good legendary lands. I think if you think hard enough, there's a lot of good legendary lands. Like, you know, there's Caracas, Gaia's Cradle. You already got me. I'm over-indexing certain legendary lands because they are so outrageously powerful. But you could say, like, even if it's narrow, a wasteland that only hits legendaries is still going to be super playable because the legendary lands are so heavily played. You know, a lot of people play with Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, and Gaia's Cradle, stuff like that. Steve Cooper says there's 88 legendary lands in the game, and they're just going to print more, so legendary land wasteland doesn't sound too bad. So we can automatically print legendary land wasteland for Caracas. Tonic Nightmare is like, they already did From the Vault Exiled with a bunch of banned cards. Next up, From the Vault, oops. Oops! What have we done? We done a legendary lands tier list, but we have not. I guess that's something we could do coming up. I'll even write that down. We've done like we have done lands before. Lands have been done many times. Okay, legendary lands. We'll have that for our next tier list. Boseiju is a great legendary land card. Is it? Like, you talk about like Boseiju. Was it who, I believe it's Who Endures? Yeah, Who Endures. It's a legendary land. How often are you playing this damn card? So with this card, you're usually playing it from your hand. So the fact that it's legendary doesn't matter as much. I mean, yeah, you can play it as a land. I mean, I play Otawara as a land, but I play Otawara more as a land than I do as a bounce spell. Boseiju is a fantastic, has an amazing utility. You destroy target artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land. Boseiju has single-handedly like warped the game, really, because it's like a super disenchant. It's a disenchant that's a land at the same time. Cradle's on the reserve list, isn't it? It is, but they can still make new and other different guys' cradles and stuff like that. Tulayan Academy is a must. Urborg and Yavimaya are legendary lands. That's true. Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. Okay, Winter still says it's too strong, repeatable, and on land, so not easy to remove. So how about this, Winter? That makes a good question. Would Caracas, how do I put it, with exhaust? You know the exhaust mechanic? What if you could only do it once and never again? Would that make it fair? Would that make for a good design too? Everything's the same, but not a repeatable effect. You only get to do it once and then never again. That might actually open design space for a lot of legendary lands. Exhaust was a pretty neat idea. Tonic Nightmare says, what can even stop Boseiju? It's a discard ability, not a spell, so you need something like a Stifle to stop it. That is correct. It is a activated ability, so anything that stops activated ability. Pithing Needle actually can technically stop it. You can actually play Pithing Needle name Boseiju, and you can't activate that thing. Caracas with Exhaust is okay. Then you'd blink it. You know, honestly, if you can blink it, congratulations. You know, you deserve it. I don't find blinking stuff to be all that easy. Maybe it is for other people. Unban it, white needs help. I'm actually not familiar with where white is in the metagame in Commander. Give Caracas Commutative Upkeep and it would be fair. Yeah, but then you would make it worthless. There's a ton of Commutative Upkeep cards that are bonkers powerful, but like the fact that it has Commutative Upkeep makes them worthless. If you want to destroy a card, just stamp Commutative Upkeep on it and boom, it's over. Nova the Space Wolf. There is a land that moves your commander from the command zone to hand, and you have to pay and sack the land to do it. So this is that, but with no downside. We can't you can't return target legendary card from the command zone to your hand. the creature has to be in play. So long, Toads. Thanks for dropping by. May the squirrels be with you. Fabius is like, white does not need help. Someone doesn't like smothering tithe out there. Spending a lot of time on it. Well, this is a contentious card. Okay, it sounds like this still needs to be banned. All right, Crocus. Some people might love you out there. Possibly Blink Somniac, but not enough to unban you. Was not balanced. And speaking of balance, we're going to talk about balance now. 2 mana sorcery. Each player chooses a number of lands he or she controls equal to the number of lands controlled by the player who controls the fewest, then sacrifices the rest. Players discard cards and sacrifice creatures the same way. How do we feel about this card? How do we feel about this card in 2026? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it just like, is this actually here's a good question. Is this an actual powerful card, or is it just annoying to play? I guess the most busted thing you could do with this card is empty your hand on turn 1, then play balance to make sure everybody has nothing, or like starts the game with almost nothing. Oh no, but then you have to have no lands in play. Each player chooses a number. I guess someone could play a bunch of art. What is it? It doesn't affect everything, right? It's lands, cards, and creatures, but not artifacts. White is a good coloring commander, but Boros is abysmal. Kill is like, certified wall of text. Unbanning balance would make me the happiest person ever. So you have a price, Corbinic. There are some broken cards out there you'd be fine with. Tonic Nightmare. Honestly, I wish this was costed to be a bit more expensive. Well, they do have stuff like that does exist. There are like far more expensive versions of balance because it can result in funny stuff happening akin to Scrambleverse. Teferi's protection from plus balance. Oh my god. I'm gonna float my mana. I'm gonna play Teferi's protection. Balance. I'm gonna bring balance to this board now. Steve Cooper's not sure, but leaning to keep it banned. Gillum says, we did it. We broke 1 with nothing. Not really. I mean, you're just gonna wipe everyone else's hand. Not necessarily their board. Okay, Beefy Taco is like, please let me have it. I wish to inflict misery on my friends. Keep it banned, please. What? I can't. I don't know what you want. You want it unbanned? Or you're saying we got to keep it banned just to prevent you from bringing hell on your own friends? Old Boy says, gets pretty nasty with artifact hand vomit. Other than that, I don't see the issue. Tonic Nightmare. Oh god, that's a nasty combo. If anything, Teferi's protection needs to go on the list. You know, it's not, balance isn't the problem. Teferi's protection is the problem. We can do a swap. We're gonna exchange balance for 1 Teferi's protection. The Big Squig says it's fine, just make it a game changer. Now, this is a really good point. Like in the past, I don't think we had the game change. I can't remember if we had the game changer debate the last time that we looked at the ban list in Commander, but we do have that now. Like we can put it in the most powerful category that only the most powerful players can play, and then everyone else can play with their jank. Like we have the technology. If anything, we should have 1 more game changer list where anything goes. There is nothing banned. You can even make it like, just call it unbanned Commander. I heard Post Malone plays that format. Don't we want to play the same format that Post Malone plays? Don't we want to be cool like the rock stars? Yeah, game changer tier list. Bracket rule 0. Gravity Cow. If you ban every land and creature from the format, balance becomes fair. Well, not necessarily. You can still blow up everyone's lands. Just make everything a game changer. Black Lotus, make it a super game changer. Exactly, the super game changer list. Yeah, the rest gets to keep their artifacts. So, like, well, the debate would be like you spew your hand on turn 1 with Lotus Petal, Mox Opal, Soul Ring, Mana Crypt. Then you like throw out balance and then wipe everyone's hand away. But you're the only one with artifacts in play. Even though you would probably lose the 1 land that you might have played in order to cast this thing. Doesn't Fairy phase out when it not be affected by balance? Exactly, since they are still on the battlefield. it is not exactly. It's not affected by balance. So your stuff like just doesn't exist. You balance. Everyone else wipes their stuff because you now have nothing in play, and then next turn all your stuff comes back. Balance wouldn't even be a game changer. It would be a mass land denial, making it bracket 4. Corbinick says it feels bad if someone mind slavers you then balances. Oh, that would. Well, it's your fault to put in your deck. You did that. You made the decision to put balance in your deck, so you have to suck it up. Josiah says maybe have a CEDH only list of more powerful cards that shouldn't just be a game changer. It's very possible even CEDH doesn't want to play this card. Like there are cards like balance would probably be even more evil in that format because people would definitely build their deck around like making non-games. Like empty my hand turn 1 balance. You have Force of Will. Oh, you don't have Force of Will. Everyone discards their hands and they're effectively lost. Like if you can get a good turn 1 balance, that basically screws everyone else over. As a competitive player, this would be insanely unfun to play against, and it would create a lot of non-games. Jigraw says this affects too many things at once: lands, creatures, and cards in hand. Yeah, but not enchantments, not artifacts, not planeswalkers. Look, they didn't build this with planeswalkers in mind. Get your planeswalkers in play. Old Boy says, phased out permanents are treated as if they don't exist, so balance won't count them. That's correct. Nova the Space Wolf. It's not that powerful. It's weak to counter spells. There we go. We just have to counter this thing. You don't get your balance. Now, it is a high-risk, high-reward thing. Like, let's say you spew your hand with the intention of balancing, and that's how, like, you're going to get ahead in the game. If it gets Force of Will, you might have a hand that did nothing. Like, okay, you put a bunch of stuff on the battlefield. You put a bunch of artifacts on the battlefield, but you have nothing to follow it up with. Also, there's another thing. Someone could play Teferi's Protection in response to balance, like later on in the game, and that might screw even the player who cast the balance. That's interesting, actually. And the Teferi's Protection player actually gets super protected and would be super ahead. Before the last Commander ban list announcement, I saw someone buy a pile of balances. Guess they were speculating? Absolutely, you never know. Like, you really never know what's going to happen. I mean, I guess you can sort of know. I mean, they unbanned Worldfire, right? They unbanned Worldfire, Biorhythm. And these were cards we discussed a long time ago. Like, what are these things on the ban? Like, who cares? It's not really that big of a deal. Teferi's Protection is the worst flavor fail in this game. Teferi literally lost the entire city he was protecting. You know, it was the thought that counts at the time. Are we going over all the banned cards today? We're going to go over as many as we can, and then we'll continue the series next week. Anything is fair if you counter it. That's why that's why you need a counterspell player at the table, all right? Without counterspell players, everyone hates counterspell players until you need one. Anyway, okay, it sounds like people are not thrilled with balance, so I guess it's going to have to stay on the ban list. Or it sounds like some people are like, please give me balance, even though we know it's busted. But if we know it's busted, then probably it needs to stay banned. My friends switch to only use cards that say exile target permanent. What? Cormanic says he locked them in time and then he lost the key. He lost the city. Doesn't have the key to the city anymore. Oh no. Okay, well, I'll tell you what you're not going to lose, and that is value when you rent cards with Mana Traders. Play any deck, any format you want on Magic Online. And on Magic Online, you can play Commander. You can play 4-player Commander. You can play one-on-one Commander. You can play CDH, Casual. You can set up the rules. You can set up the pod however you want and play any deck you want when you rent with Mana Traders on Magic Online. Use coupon code Nikachu_AHL for 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. And we're going back. Okay, next card on the list. Oh, this is gonna be an easy one. Black Lotus. I don't think there's much discussion to be had here. Now remember, cost isn't an issue because you just proxy the damn thing. I mean, for the people who are really hardcore about owning the cards, might be a deal, but cost is not an issue. What is an issue, however, is it is a superior beefed up Jeweled Lotus. This is Jeweled Lotus on steroids. 0 mana artifact, tap, sacrifice Black Lotus, add 3 mana of any one color to your mana pool. Gilliam's just make it a game changer. I mean, okay, from my perspective, I wish I could play with Black Lotus. like, how do I put it? Commander is like the only format where we have the potential to play with broken cards that we never could play with like originally. And like, I'm not going to say that this is a fair card to play with, but neither was Jeweled Lotus. And it was like sort of okay. So I would actually say Black Lotus is in that same realm if you are willing to. I think Black Lotus casually is like somewhat fine. Black Lotus competitively is not fine whatsoever. Nova's like, okay, we can make this a game changer. Sol Ring is better in every way. You're in a lot of ways, you're not wrong. Sol Ring is a super broken card. It's like Black Lotus, or it's like a minor Black Lotus every single turn. I think people misevaluate Black Lotus versus Sol Ring in Cube. Like, Black Lotus can be good in Cube, but Sol Ring is just mana you get every single turn in Cube. Like an extra 2 mana. Actually, no, unban it. No, unban it. I don't know. What are you trying to say? No, unban it, but make it the sole game changer you can physically run in your commander. Sol Ring is arguably stronger, though, in my opinion. Also, in my opinion. We should have a vote with stronger Black Lotus or Sol Ring in commander. Okay, but the big squig, they should make a version of this that only plays for commanders. Oh, wait. They tried that. And they even gave it a restriction that it can only be one color. Well, I guess this one is also just one color. Still can be used for the colorless for a lot of commanders. If Jeweled Lotus got banned, no way this will be unbanned. I'm telling you, we need one more tier on the what's it called, the bracket list. We need one more bracket for like most powerful anything goes stuff. The unofficial bracket. If you want to rule zero that bracket in, go for it. Mox Opal was banned then in Commander. Well, Mox Opal is not banned in Commander. LED is fine, so this should be not too bad. Oh, well, LED, well, Lion's Eye Diamond and Black Lotus are like 2 different leagues, you know? Lion's Eye Diamond is going to force you to like discard your hand. At least this one, you get to keep your hand. Wait a second, says Old Boy. Jeweled Lotus got banned before the Game Changer list was created, right? Not financial advice. I can't remember. I'm not a Game Changer or Commander ban list historian. Gillum, I want to see the tomfoolery CDH would come up with Black Lotus. Well, the combo decks would just combo more, right? So a lot of CEDH is just combo. I mean, that's how you basically win in CEDH. I always thought like combo was like a good chunk of CEDH. But then when I actually went to like do some research on the format because I was interested in it, I found it was like it's 100% of the, like, you basically win 97% of the time via some sort of combo. The more combos you have in your deck, the better your deck is. The more consistency to get to those combos, the better your deck is. So this would just enable those combos better. So it would just make the format even more, I wouldn't say more unbalanced, but it would speed the format up more and create more non-games, because the at least Jeweled Lotus, you could only use that for your commander. This you could use for spells or 2-card combos. You could single-handedly go land, Black Lotus, crack it, play, you know, Demonic Consultation, Thassa's Oracle, with a blue up for something else. Is Black Lotus much of a discussion? I think at a casual level, this thing is like okay. Just like Jeweled Lotus was okay for a lot of people. Like if you're not going for first turn kills, Black Lotus is like sort of fine. It's the ramp is similar to a lot of other ramp that we have in the game. It's just that if you take things competitively, the card is super broken. CDH is just 4 people trying to first turn kill each other. In theory. But they don't go for the first turn kill because they know if they try and they fail, they might be screwed. So they might go for a third turn kill. Is Monstrous Rage and Slick Shot a combo? Slick Shot Show Off? I mean, it's a combo. You can't win with that combo. Just do a good chunk of damage. Leon Corgi, should the commander ban list prevent the playgroup from kicking you out? What? What the hell? Prevent you from kicking you out? Olga says, I wonder if there are ways to recur a 0-mana artifact from the graveyard. Oh, millions of ways. Emery being one of them. Hard to gauge since all no-ban lists CEDH videos devolve into Time Vault combos, so Lotus hardly matters, but they can use Lotus to get that Time Vault combo going, right? So it sounds like in no bandless CEDH, just ban Time Vault. Black Lotus is not the problem. Time Vault is the problem. Win conditions are the problem. Ban the win conditions, not the enablers. It's enablers versus win conditions discussion. Do you want to win ASAP and your Highlander? So you might as well include all the combos you reasonably can. You know, it would be funny if in the game, so like in the bracket list, you put Black Lotus maybe in the super casual part, but then Black Lotus is banned in all the other play. Like if you have any 2-card combos or any combos at all, Black Lotus is banned. But if you're just playing like slow creature magic, Black Lotus is maybe the most fair and legal. But I don't know how you would describe that. It's like an inverted ban list where the more competitive deck your deck gets, Black Lotus gets more broken. The more casual and more bumbling around your commander deck gets, Black Lotus becomes more fair. What's the point of unbanning Black Lotus if we aren't abusing the hell out of it? Because, well, no, there's a lot of people who they just like to, they want to play their 7-mana card on turn 4. So, I mean, they're not like super abusing it. So it makes unreasonably costed cards more reasonable. But that doesn't mean, like, if the game is slow enough, that doesn't mean someone can't gang up on that player. Underworld Breach is right there for recurring stuff. That is true. Storm isn't broken. Cantrips and fast mana is broken. That's what I'm saying. Like Black Lotus, when you make Black Lotus in a competitive deck, that's where the problems start to arrive. If Black Lotus is in a casual deck, it's not nearly as broken. In fact, I would even argue it's not broken. Hence why Jeweled Lotus existed. That's unfortunately difficult to police and/or discuss. Oh yeah, it's mathematical. The higher powered the format, the more it tends towards being 100% combos. Vintage, for example, is exclusively combo. No, not necessarily. Vintage is not exclusively combo. There are fair decks out there. It's a lot of combo decks, but there are some. What they call them, fish decks. Some. Jay Gross says, I'm not sure about you, but I want to play my 7-mana card on turn 1 at least once for fun. Black? No. Jeweled? Yes. Okay, not everything in Type 1 is combo. Yeah, not everything. There's a few non-combo. There's a lot of combo decks. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of combo decks, but not everything is a combo deck. Aggro. Yeah, well, aggro control. Yeah, fair vintage decks are a myth, like Unicorns of the Queen of England. There's a lot of fair decks in vintage. I've played. Have we done Dockside? Yeah, you missed it. Did you want it unbanned? Okay, it sounds like we're leaning on this thing has to stay banned. All right, Black Lotus. Stay banned it is. Next up, this is a weird card. Chaos Orb. Who wants Chaos Orb reprinted in 2026? It's funny because we have, stickers are legal, right? Stickers are a weird type of card. Why can we not have dexterity cards back in Commander? And what's the funny thing with Chaos Orb is it could be a meta card in that if you know you're playing in a play space where the space is cramped, and everyone is only allowed so much space for their Commander battlefield, that Chaos Orb actually gets stronger, much stronger. Has to say that there's nothing that says we have to do anything. Just because it's a dexterity card doesn't mean it has to stay banned. Banned because of Imperial units. Stickers are banned, right? Are stickers banned still? Hold on. Okay, 25 conspiracy cards, the 9 anti cards. Lutri. I think stickers are legal. Someone correct me on this. I can't remember if stickers are legal or not. There was like a mechanic. Stickers. I know stickers are banned in Legacy, but I don't know if stickers are banned in Commander. Yeah, in Commander, stickers are legal. So if we can have weird crap like that, I think we can have dexterity cards. It's not that big of a reach. Because frankly, I think stickers changed everything. That was a very bizarre card type to exist. Stickers. The sticker changes the effect of the card in real time. We need to make Chaos Confetti legal. No silver border cards. Not today. Do different language versions of this card use 0.3 meters instead of 1 foot? Does anyone know? Well, you just do the conversion. Gabrielle, it says, Chaos Orb is fine. The card is not that good. Well, it depends on the playing space. I mean, at the least, it will hit one card. But at most, it can hit a lot of cards. They made stickers legal to sell more packs. And yet, most people hate stickers. They made it for no reason. Beef Taco says, keep it banned. Replace its ability will destroy target permanent. That's how a lot of people use this card in Cube, and I also think in 93, 94. It's basically just 2 mana, pay 1, and destroy a permanent. So you're saying it's not a bit of a reach, but that is actually the problem. If you have a wheelchair, you may not be able to use this card. I'll have you know, Beefy Taco, that Magic the Gathering is a very progressive game. And you are, if you have any disability whatsoever, you are allowed an assistant to help you. Especially, like, if, for example, if you can't even hold up your hand, you can have an assistant hold up your hand for you. I don't know if this would be considered strategic assistance to get them to drop the card on the table, but I think they would be allowed to do it. You could be like, okay, hold it there, move your hand to a little bit to the left like a crane. Okay, a little bit to the right. Okay, drop it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Judge, please flip my card or drop it. Make sure you're dropping it of a height of at least 1 foot. Can you move the cards off the table? Absolutely not. That's the whole point of this card. So once Chaos Orb is activated, whatever is sitting on the playfield is sitting on the playfield. In fact, we might even be able to standardize playmat size to make sure it can't be bigger than a certain size. But we have coin flipping cards. What's the difference? Yeah, we do have, well, we have randomization. Well, this is just a weird card in the sense that, like, whatever it touches blows up. Might be a rulings nightmare. You know what's another funny thing? Legally, you're not allowed to have your lands in front of your spells. Like, we now have, like, sort of an order for where everything is on the battlefield. So with Chaos Orb, you're not allowed to, like, mix your lands and creatures to, like, diversify what permanents are going to get blown up. The Chaos Orb could either, like, blow up a lot of creatures or blow up a lot of lands at the same time. Judge, bring out the measuring tape. By my calculation, my opponent dropped the card from an 11.9-inch drop. Well, I mean, if you're playing Chaos Orb, you could bring a ruler with you to make sure that the card is just as high as the ruler. In response, spread out all the permanents. It's exactly what would happen. You don't want to get all your permanents blown up. Yes, they banned having your lands in front because of Dryad Arbor shenanigans. That is correct. No, actually, no, that is not true. They banned having your lands in front because it was confusing to the audience whenever games were being streamed. So now they're like, you have to have your permanents that you're using in front of your lands, and the lands have to be behind. There needs to be like some sort of unanimous, how do I put it? How the battlefield is presented needs to be more standardized. Some people put their graveyard in the front of their lands. You know, it's a bit weird and messy. So for the sake of coverage, they standardized how the battlefield has to look. This is a meme card, but stuff like Goblin Game is legal, so unban it. The Big Squig says the card is not only bad, but also a rulings nightmare. I love it. Bryce says, Chaos Orb reminds me of the Space Jam, which is legal. What is Space Jam? Space Jab, maybe? Oh, Space Jace. Oh, Space Jace. I know that card. Where you're dividing, like, the battlefield into 4 quadrants. Oh, it has to do with streaming the game? Yeah, for the outsiders. Confusing with Creature Lands too. Trezor, didn't people rip this card up, then drop it? Well, that's the lore. That's the lore. I don't know entirely sure. It sounds... Okay, just based on what people are saying, it sounds like most of you want it banned. Bulga says, the card says 1 foot, you just gotta put your foot on the table and throw it. Well, that sounds awfully unhygienic. People with smaller feet are inherently advantaged. Gillum Judge, Chaos didn't touch my card. The electrostatic force is putting a micrometer of air between it and my card. Oh, you know what would also be a horrible thing? Like sleeves. Like the edges of the sleeve might touch the other edge of another sleeve. Like, do sleeves count? And the bigger the sleeve, someone might buy like gigantic sleeves with Chaos Orb so that they can hit a larger area. Okay, with that, I think I just might have found a good argument to keep Chaos Orb banned. You just play with a gigantic sleeve deck that would always cover or hit like a giant area of space, unless you have to like unsleeve it and then drop it basically on an inner sleeve or nothing. Imagine this with those giant commander cards they used to print. Yeah, the oversized Chaos Orb. Okay, next up, we've got... Ooh, Channel. What are the odds of this thing getting unbanned? Green sorcery. Until end of turn, anytime you could activate a mana ability, you may pay 1 life. If you do, add colorless to your mana pool. I guess so far, like most of these cards that are banned, they're mana cards. Like when it comes to mana... Mana is broken. Fast mana is very, very broken. Mercenary says, nope, it ain't coming. It's not coming off. Never gonna happen. Meant to say on the last card, technically the card is not touching anything the sleeve is. It's right. Better Black Lotus, sort of. Better Dockside Extortionist, sort of. Dockside Extortionist, 2 mana. But also conditional. Channel, 2 mana. Not very conditional. I mean, sure, your life total could be 1, but very unlikely by the time you play this card. Toilet Duck has joined the chat. You just have to get up earlier, Toilet Duck. It's a getting up problem. BB Taco, honestly, maybe an argument for it being even worse than Black Lotus. Black Lotus can add 3 mana. This can add like 35 mana. Winner says 39 mana seems a bit too much for 2 mana. Channel makes 40 mana. Seems no, it won't. If you add 40 mana, you're dead. Olga, what have you done? Olga left us too soon, chat. Olga left us too soon. Too greedy with the channel. No, we haven't got... We're doing this, all these in alphabetical order. Okay, Corbinick says, keep it banned. 39 mana on turn 1. No. Well, Emrakul's banned. How about we ban all the Eldrazi? I think that's the argument against channel. I exchange Eldrazi for channels. Fastest mana there is, you have 40 life to play with. I guess you could also play that other Emrakul that mind slavers people. Channel Fireball is still the first of those combos. Well, that card is the combo's useless in Commander. Cracker Grit, nothing wrong with a turn 2 Eldrazi. Could be even turn 1. Mappius, 1 card generating 10 plus mana one way or the other is incredibly broken, to be fair. To be fair, it's broken. Menose, and if it touches the sleeve... And Menose is still on Chaos Orb. If it touches the sleeve of the other card, it is not touching them either. Sleeves invalidate this card 100,000,000% perfectly fine. Okay, sadly, Burn is hardly viable in EDH. Yeah, what do you mean hardly viable? Well, it's not like it's actually sort of viable. Like in a more casual setting, it's viable. You can make a Torbrand deck or something. Nova the Space Wolf. So anytime I could activate a mana ability, so not when I activate a mana ability, anytime I could activate a mana ability. Until end of turn, anytime you could activate a mana ability, you may pay 1. If you do, add colorless to your mana pool. So it's worded weirdly, but from what I understand, if you need mana, just pay 1 life and you get colorless. Gillum is like, make it a game changer. I don't know if that's going to change anything. This card is pretty obscene. I'm sort of on an agreement. Like, imagine playing this in Kozilek. I want the original Kozilek. The one that draws you like 4 cards. Imagine playing this on turn 2, or even turn 1. 10 mana, 12/12. And you cast it, you draw 4 cards. Annihilator 4. Good luck killing this. I mean, it's not invincible, I'll admit that. I mean, you can source to Plowshare the thing. But you draw 4 cards! This was basically Ancestral Recall. Super Ancestral Recall. Manny Matson has to get up for 5 a.m. for this show. Look, some people get it. Some people have greater sacrifices, Toilet Duck. If Channel is in your deck, you can use Vanguard rules and change your starting life total to 5. Yeah, well, that would be a rule 0 thing. We have to assume that we're playing regular Magic with this card. Beef Taco says Energy Refractor goes crazy with this card. There's a lot of cards that go crazy with this card. You could use Channel to pay for that Ristic Study. Well, only on one turn. Finally, I have the mana to pay for Ristic Study with every single card I cast. Make 39 mana, get gut shotted. People shouldn't be so greedy. Is anyone playing gut shot in EDH? That sounds like the weakest, crappiest card in that format. Robinick says it doesn't even need to be an Eldrazi. It can be Blightsteel turn 2. It's broken. But Blightsteel is risky because you don't get any value. I don't know about the rest of you. If I play anything with Channel, I want to get some value out of it. Because if anyone sorts to Plowshares or makes me sack my creature very early, and there should be a good chunk of removal. If it gets bounced, Blightsteel, you need some value out of it. It gets countered. A lot of ways of dealing with turn 1, turn 2 stuff. Burn not effective enough in EDH. That sounds like a skill issue. Very well could be. Play Karn or Ugin. Ugin's a pretty good value card. Is Show and Tell banned? It is not. It is very legal. But the problem with Show and Tell is you'd be like, oh, I'm going to put the most powerful thing in play. No, you're not. Everyone else is going to put the most powerful thing in play. If people could reduce their own life totals, that leads to wacky Death Shadow hijinks and other hilarity. Oh, so you would like another card that's like Channel, except does not add mana to your mana pool? Like, I don't know what it would do. What could you pay 1 life for? Or it could be something like Channel, pay 4 life, add a colorless to your mana pool. So it's less broken. Step 1, play Channel. Step 2, lose 7 life for 7 mana and cast Chromatic Orrery. Now you can lose 31 life for 31 mana. That can be spent on any card. Yes, you have that much life still left. You're playing around Gutshot. Olga says, sir, you're playing with marked cards. I must ask you to leave this tournament. That's wrong. Only my sleeves are marked. What? What the hell? Channel brings out the worst in EDH. The look at this 1 card threat that now everyone has to deal with or lose. That is correct. But it also makes their decks clunky. Imagine you filling your deck with a bunch of like 10 to 15 mana cards or 20 mana cards. And you depend on Channel to cast them, and you can't. What would be a fair CMC Channel in your opinion? Oh, that's a good question. That is such a good question. What would be a fair, like, is it 6 mana? Like, at least 6? That still might not be enough, because 6 mana is pretty easy to get to. 6 mana to then get access to, like, probably 30 life's worth of mana. J. Gross says, unrelated, I really like this art where the arm is turning into leaves. Oh, yeah, this art is gorgeous. When I saw the original Channel art, I was like, this is hideous. Like, it's so bad. This is the original Channel art. This is terrible. Sorry, no offense, Richard Thompson, but I mean, you got outdone by the future. The future Channel is just amazing. It's a Rebecca Gay card, so she's amazing. Seems unanimous to keep it banned. Yeah, okay. It's some good discussion. Brings the worst out of EDH. Okay, next up, we've got... Well, speaking of big Eldrazi's, we got Emrakul, the Ion's Torn. I never really understood why this card has to be banned. Like, there's a bunch... All the other Eldrazi's are legal, but this one's not. 15 mana, 15, 15. The spell can't be countered. When you cast the spell, take an extra turn after this one. Flying protection from spells that are 1 or more color. It's got Annihilator 6. And when Emrakul, the Ion's Torn, is put into a graveyard from anywhere, its owner shuffles their graveyard into their library. I also agree. It did nothing wrong. Josia says, unban my girl. Yeah, why did we ban this queen? Matty Matson says it's fine, ship it. I never really guessed. I guess this is just, it has a feel bad history. But I don't know if this card actually is broken. I mean, it's like, it's a good card, don't get me wrong. This is it's like a default combo victory. for a lot of more powerful formats. Unban it nowadays. You can Solitude the thing now. There are actually more cards that can interact with Emrakul these days. Release the Spaghetti Monster. J-Grass says, keep it banned, 2 mage tentacles. Gillum says, Annihilator and extra turns makes people salty. Who the hell is casting Emrakul the Ion's Torn? Can anyone cast this card? Remember, channel is banned. We can't even cast it off of channel. Who the hell gets to 15 mana? If you have 15 mana, you probably have 20 permanents in play, as does everybody else at this point. They can sack 6 tokens or something. Mapia says it's a feel bad because target player sacrifices 6 permanents, but I don't know. Winner says opponent's fault for not having enough squirrels to block, or just throw away. It will take someone out, but a lot of similar cards do that. It can only really take someone out if it gets out early. Like, it needs to get out early. Not late. It has to come out super fast. Otherwise, I don't think it's really all that big of a deal. I cast Emrakul the Ion's Torn, and I respond with this Reprieve. That won't work. I mean, unless you sacked a bunch of treasures to make that happen. Like, the Reprieve will put it back into hand, right? But when you cast the spell, you still get the extra turn. If you have 15 mana, the game is probably over anyway. I wouldn't even say it's over. Someone will just get blasted in the face for 15 damage. I don't even think the 6 permanents that they're going to sacrifice are going to matter all that much. Like, if this card comes out super, super late, it's just another card like any other big bomb. Manny Matson says, I had so many feels bad in EDH. I don't know why sacrificing 6 permanents would be any different. I had worse done to me. Harfox says, sacking the 6 permanents is a big deal any time of the game, in my opinion, and you obviously will cheat this into play. But if you cheated in play, well, outside of like sneak attack, if you cheated in play, usually you have to pass the turn to somebody else, and everyone has the opportunity to gang up on you, or even interact with Emrakul. Oh look, I have to sacrifice my 6 treasures. Boo-hoo. Yeah, I'm sort of look at it the same way. Bryce says, the only way I see you casting this is with Possibility Storm. There's might be a few other ways you can cast this card. Mercenary says, the reason I designed Mercenary of the Void the way it is in the custom cards is because of Emrakul. Why? Emrakul isn't even a real card right now. It's banned. If you play this, hit someone, then this gets farewelled. Or someone just goes to Teferi's Protect. We have Teferi's Protection now, right? So if Emrakul takes a swing in response to Teferi's Protection, okay, I sack nothing. Also, I don't even take any damage. You fool! Fool, you shouldn't have attacked me. I had 3 mana up. Protection has gotten worse over the years. Format where Eye of Ugin and other broken lands are unbanned. 15 mana is easy, and there are other ways to cheap it out. I think we are somewhat in agreement. Emrakul actually can be unbanned. There's some people against the Emrakul, but I think we can all agree this is a lot easier to interact with. It's not necessarily getting sacrificed in 6 permanents is the end of the world. Can't even be reanimated unless you respond to the shuffle trigger with instant speed reanimation, which is rare and tricky. Okay, Firefox says cheating is not necessarily not casting. Free cast exists. Interacting with Emrakul is a bit difficult if you get it out early enough. But mill isn't super viable anyways. Oh, makes mill strategies impossible to win. Well, that's on the mill player. You know, sorry about that, mill player. I had Emrakul in my deck. Are we really keeping Emrakul banned to help out the mill players? Imagine Emrakul gets unbanned. The mill player is like, oh no, I'm dead. But you know, a lot of mill has exiled the top X cards of their library now. Firefox is like, I like that it blocks mill. Firefox, you have a mill player in your meta? In your pod? Mill is a bad argument to keep it banned because there are more cards with that graveyard effect. Well, not entirely. How many of them say you have to shuffle the entire graveyard? There's a lot of cards that when they hit the graveyard, you have to shuffle them back into your deck, but not necessarily the entire graveyard. I think this is very unique to Emrakul. There might be a few other cards, but not that many. Of all the reasons to keep Emrakul banned, help the mill players is not one of them. Sounds like, why does everyone hate mill? I don't have that. Maybe it's because I'm a blue player. Like, I don't care about mill. I just have to counter. It's like mill is basically burn, and you just have to counter a few of those burn cards, and you don't die. Everyone loves mill, though, says Bordeaux. Okay, old boy says, I am a mill player, and if your deck can't deal with graveyard reshuffles, you built it wrong. There we go. If you're a mill player, you need to have surgical extraction for this Emrakul. You need to be ready. Or be ready with the stifle. The mill players deserve it, honestly. They need help. Okay. We're unbanning Emrakul. Not that powerful in 2026. If you're crying about losing because you lost 6 permanents, that was a skill issue. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks, everyone, for dropping by. It was a great discussion that we had. And we'll talk more about it next week. But of course, we do these shows Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Also Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. Of course, thank you so much, everyone, for your wonderful discussion. I really appreciate it. Coming from Olga, Winner, Bryce, Gillum, Leon Corgi, Healthier System, Gabrielle, The Big Squig, Pyre Fox. Burn you can regain life. Regaining cards is not that easy. It's harder anyhow. Steve Cooper, Mercenary, The Big Squig, Adeptus Chocolatus, Kono, Mappius, Toilet Duck. I think I got you, Gillum. Anyone I miss here? Manny Matson, and many more. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing those coffees. And we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you at the next cup.